Welcome to the Courageous Self-Care Experience with self-care expert, embodiment coach, four-time author, and your spiritual ninja guide, Christina Marlette. This is your go-to show for high-achieving, spiritually curious women who are done with burnout, over the hustle, and ready to feel fully alive and energized. You'll get a powerful mix of soulful wisdom, rebellious truth bombs, and energy practices that actually work. So now, please welcome the host of the Courageous Self-Care Experience, Christina Marlette.
Hello, welcome. I'm your host, Christina Marlette, and this is the Courageous Self-Care Experience streaming on Bold Brave TV. We're on multiple platforms streaming live, and you can find replays of the show if you missed the live on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and most major streaming platforms. I'm so happy you're here today, whether you are live or you're listening to a replay. Yay, you! Let's just celebrate that you're here and you're taking time for yourself and seeking out practices that work. So I always say to my kids, you want and then feel amazing. You can't just indulge and do whatever you feel like, eat whatever you want, sit on the couch whenever you feel like it. No, you need to take action to feel energized. So we're going to dive right in. First, a life update. So last week I shared a great practice that I use often, which is asking yourself, what would I love to do, especially when you're making a decision? And I had shared about booking a hotel for my upcoming trip to Indianapolis. And there were lots of choices, and my mind was getting really busy about it and weighing through the options and pros and cons and price and so on. And then I just went calm and I said, what would I love? And I made the choice from there. It was very easy once I did that and dropped into my heart. And it was more than the other options, but it just was going to make life super easeful. And then during this week, all the money and more came to me in an unexpected way. So this is what happens. When you follow your heart, you are supported. When you trust, you create a vacuum. And it's like a space for the universe to fill in because the universe abhors a vacuum. So by asking what I would love and trusting my intuition and my inner guidance and following that, the universe filled up that vacuum that I created, and yay, a miracle happened. So this isn't just for me, this is for you too. So I encourage you to make as many decisions as you can using the question, what would I love? And trusting that you're being guided to the best answer. Okay. Now, we are going to go into our timely teaching for this week, and I want to share a principle from my book, which is called Not Your Mama's Self-Care Guide. In this book, there are 4 energies of self-care, and one of them is sage energy. We want to be connecting with sage energy every day, as often as possible, and sage is like your inner guide. It is your heart. It is your soul. It's your intuition. It's your inner guidance. And there are specific practices we can do to connect with that sage energy on a daily basis. So that's what I want to share with you today. Part of sage energy in the book is about creating a better relationship with time. And that's not what we're going to talk about today. We're going to take a really strategic practice and work with that idea. So here is the antidote to chaos. So if you're a highly productive, high-achieving, go-getter kind of person, you might experience chaos on a regular basis, or it might be a time-to-time thing. And we don't have to live in chaos. We can be the calm within the chaos, regardless of what's going on in the outer world. We can be calm on the inside. And so this practice is not rocket science, but man, does it work well. So it is called slowing down. And you might think, that's not a practice. And I don't have time to do that. So this is something that I'll give you some more details on. So life can move very quickly, and you can have a lot of stuff on the go. Maybe you have a dynamic life like I do, where you have kids who you want to pour attention into. Maybe you have a spouse. I have my beloved husband, my soulmate of, I was just trying to figure out the math the other day. Pretty sure we're going into our 27th anniversary this summer. Maybe you have a career on the go. Maybe you have a community that you're engaged in, and maybe you have all of those things. So that's my life. And often people will say to me, how are you so calm? Like, you do so much. And the difference is, a long time ago, a previous version of me, I did a lot, and it was stressful. I felt stressed often, and my body was definitely giving me clues that there was stress that I was suppressing. The difference now, by using the practices that I share with you on this show, is that I actually get more done with little to no stress. And I've learned how to stay calm in the chaos. So this practice of slowing down, it's not slow down and have a bubble bath. It's not slow down by clearing out your calendar, although those things can be helpful. This is embodied slowing down. And if anything isn't showing up in your life the way that you want, it just means it's not embodied. So embodiment is the solution. It's the key. And I'm going to share with you, after our first break, an embodied energy flow practice to slow down. So what I mean by slowing down is, nature has a pace. And that pace, for the most part, is not fast. Yes, there are big activities in nature that energy does get stirred up, and sometimes energy does need to be stirred up. But for the most part, you don't plant a flower seed and then the next day you have the flower in full bloom. It takes time, and a lot of the work is beneath the surface. If you live in a place where it goes from season to season, I'm in Calgary, Alberta, so our joke is we have 2 seasons, winter and construction, which definitely seems true right now. But nature, talking about nature, we have 4 distinct seasons. We have spring, we have summer, we have fall, we have winter. And that doesn't happen overnight, although sometimes it can feel like it. It's a process. So in the fall, the leaves go from green and then they turn brilliant shades and then they fall off a few weeks later. So nature's pace is important to consider, because guess why? You are nature. You're made of nature. And so am I. We are part of nature. It makes me think of a woman who came to a workshop of mine once, and she said something that was just so memorable, and I so didn't agree with it. She was justifying working in a mall, and she was working in a shoe store, and fluorescent lights and everything, and working long, long hours. And she said, "I don't need to be in nature. I am nature." And I thought, well, I don't know about that. I think being in nature is actually really healing and powerful, and it's important to connect from time to time. So here's a way that you can connect. You can do this outside, you can do it inside, but it's acknowledging nature's pace. We want to craft our lives to move at nature's pace, at least on the inside, so that no matter what's happening, we can feel that sense of calm and flow that is not all at once. It's not a barrage. It is a steady flow of life. And it's my mentor, Dr. Sue Morter, says it's like riding a wave of grace. We just want it to be steady, and so that it feels good. It feels good in your body. It feels good in your mind. It feels good in your energy system. And so, yeah, often that solution is overlooked. We don't necessarily bring nature's pace into the body. Now, I used to run regular workshops, embodiment and movement workshops, and I started bringing this practice of moving slowly into these workshops. And the first few times I did it, it was so painful for me, not because it was physically painful, but my mind was so used to going at a much more accelerated pace that it felt like, I almost want to poke my eyes out. This is so boring. It was my own workshop. So I learned a lot. I learned, wow, I'm moving a lot faster than at nature's pace. And over time, by practicing, the more I did this practice of moving at nature's pace, which I'm going to share with you after the break, a version of it, I started to enjoy moving slowly. And so it's not just getting your mind to slow down like in meditation. It's the embodied version of having your body move at a slower pace, bringing your mind onto what it feels like as sensation, and then breathing through it. So the ultimate way, truly the only way to heal anything in your life is to unify mind, body, and breath. So we're going to be doing an example of that after the break. Now, when we are slowing down and connecting with nature's pace, what we're doing is giving all of the aspects of us, including ourselves, the indication of what it feels like to go more slowly and how good and nourishing it feels. So I'm not saying walk through your entire day at super ultra slow motion. I'm saying periodically, like maybe once a day, maybe this is just a brief practice, you go slower than you would normally go. Maybe maybe you are washing the dishes and you take one dish and you just really pay attention to what it feels like to move slowly. Or maybe you're walking from one room to the next and you decide to go slower than you would normally go. And what you're doing is you're cultivating mindfulness, which is super helpful for feeling calm in the chaos. And also you're cultivating presence. And whether you know it on a conscious level or not, what every human being wants is to be more present. And life gives us so many opportunities to cultivate that ability. So slowing down is a wonderful way to become more present. And you want to, like I said, you want to do it both physically and mentally. All right. What it's doing is giving your cells that frame of reference. Your cells are also part of nature. They're little microcosms of the universe. Every part of us is an expression of consciousness and awareness taking form. And when we give all of our cells the gift of slowing down, connecting with nature, moving at a pace that is different from regular everyday life, all of your cells now have a frame of reference. And you will more easily be able to tell when you're not within nature's pace, and you'll know exactly what to do about it. So some benefits of being slowing down and going at nature's pace include, well, first of all, nervous system reset. You are helping your system get out of fight or flight. Chronic fight or flight response is not helpful. It causes acidity in the body. It causes an environment that does not heal effectively. And so we want to get out of that sympathetic fight or flight. Fight or flight is great if there's an emergency, but most of life is not an emergency. And so fight or flight is not nature's pace. We want to give our whole system the rest and digest response, the parasympathetic nervous system. We want to activate that. And that helps bring our body into an alkaline environment. And we are able to experience more of that calm within the chaos. And then when life is not chaotic and it's calm, we can come even more fully present and benefit from the body system working in the way that nature intended it. So that is our timely teaching for today. And we are going to go into a short break. Afterwards, I'm going to give you an embodied energy flow practice that will help you experience nature's pace physically and energetically. So we're going to be standing for that. If you're not in a place where you can stand, not to worry, you can also do it sitting. So just a heads up about that. And we're going to go into a short break from our sponsors now. So you are watching or listening to the Courageous Self-Care Experience. I'm your host, Christina Marlette, and we will be right back after this brief word from our sponsors.
Mike Zorich, a 3-time California state champion in Greco-Roman wrestling at 114 pounds. Mike, blind since birth, was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was a 6-time national placer, including 2 seconds, 2 thirds, and 2 fourths. He also won the Veterans Folk-Style Wrestling twice at 152 pounds. In all these tournaments, he was the only blind competitor. Nancy Zorick, a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions in several states. Her father, a commercial artist who shared his instruments with his daughter and helped her fine-tune her natural abilities, influenced her decision to follow in his footsteps. Ms. Zorick has enjoyed a fruitful career doing what she loves. Listen Saturday mornings at 12 Eastern for the Nancy and Mike Show for heartwarming stories and interesting talk on the BBM Global Network.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Christina Marlette. This is the Courageous Self-Care Experience, streaming on Bold Brave TV and all major platforms. All right, so we're moving into our embodied energy flow portion, and this is our slowing down exercise so that we connect with the pace of nature. That helps us stay calm in the chaos. It energizes us and helps us ride that wave of grace through life. So this is our embodied portion. So we're going to move, and embodiment is always the solution. It's a wonderful way to bring energy into your body and into your life. If something's not expressing in your life, it just means it's not embodied yet. So we are going to start to do that now. So this is our practice on slowing down, and what we're doing is, with these very simple movements, you're going to bring your mind onto the sensation that you're experiencing. So ideally standing up, because it's nice to stand up and not sit for a whole hour. If you're driving, obviously skip this part or just listen. And if you are not in a place where you can stand, or for some reason you're not able to stand, just do it sitting. It'll work as beautifully as well. All right, so what we're going to start to do here first is some very slow neck circles, slower than you would normally go, like ultra super slow motion. And if at any point your mind is like, this is so boring, that's okay. Just love your mind that it wants to go fast because it's used to it. And so what we're going to do is I invite you to close your eyes and then start. You can watch if you're on the platform where you can see what's happening. And then once you get the idea of what we're just doing super slow motion neck circles. Now, when you get to the back, don't let the back of your neck crunch up. Keep your chin up towards the sky. And what we're doing here is going slowly enough so that your mind can track the sensations of the contraction and the expansion. So notice as your head circles around, ultra slow motion, that one side expands on the neck and the other side contracts. Breathing in and out through the nose, and press the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Let this be a luxurious experience. Right now you have all the time in the world to just focus, become really present, connecting mind, body, and breath, and let it feel really good. If for some reason it doesn't feel good, modify it so that it does. Maybe you just stretch one side and then the other. And then we'll switch into the other direction. And again, if your mind wants to wander and think about other things, bring it back to the sensation of what it feels like to move slowly. Nice big deep breaths in through the nose. Let the belly expand. It's another sensation you can pay attention to, and then on the exhale, press the belly button towards the spine. All right, and then taking your time, no rush to get there. We're gradually going to come back to center. Okay, and just pause and notice how you feel. So this is part one. We're going to do 3 parts. How are you feeling right now? Let the mind come on to the energy rather than the thoughts. So just notice how you're feeling inside your body. And let's take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Exhale. Okay. So that was working with our cognitive area, our cognitive center, the brain. And now we're going to move into the heart area. We're going to open up and feel the embodied experience of a heart opening. So whether you're watching or whether you're just listening, I'm going to explain it to you. So take the shoulders and roll them up and back and down. And then bring the hands from your sides, let them come all the way up, super slow motion. Bring them up, level with the shoulders, and then fully expanded. Bring your nose up towards the sky so you've got a bit of an arch in your back. And it's like the sun is radiating above you and you're receiving all of that beautiful warmth and energy. Big breath in. And then on the exhale, we're going to slowly bring the arms down and tuck the chin and start to curve the spine in the opposite direction, coming into a forward fold. So I'm going to disappear for a moment and we're all going to forward fold, tuck the chin, curling the spine, coming down segment by segment. Now it doesn't matter where you get to. Once you're in as much of a forward fold as you can get to, just clasp one hand onto the opposite elbow and same thing on the other side. So now we're in a forward fold and let everything hang. Let it feel good. And a big breath in, up through your legs. And exhale through the spine, right out the crown. Now bend your knees slightly, keep the chin tucked, engage your core muscles and start to curl up segment by segment. If you run out of breath, just pause where you are, exhale, and then start inhaling again. And we're going to go back to rolling the shoulders up and back and down. Super slow motion. And then inhale the arms up so that we're receiving from that sun, whether you're in it or it's imaginary. Let it fill you up with beautiful energy of nature and the power of the sun. Let it infuse into your wide open heart. And then let's drop the arms. Super slow motion. Just notice what it feels like in your body as your arms drop. Okay. Now let's tuck the chin and curl down once more, segment by segment. Let's complete this. Now we're opening up the back side of the heart center. And once you're in as much of a forward fold as you can be in, clasp opposite elbows if that feels good to you. And let your head hang. Even shake it no, nod it yes, so there's nothing holding on that doesn't need to be. And if you're in a chair, you can just drape yourself over your lap as much as you can. And let's inhale up the legs, follow the breath through the body with the mind, right to the pelvis, and then exhale through the spine, out the crown into the earth. Let go of the hands and engage the front side of the body, the core muscles. Keep the chin tucked and start to curl up segment by segment as if you are a fern frond. They don't move quickly. Keep the chin tucked as you come back up. And when you get to the shoulders, roll them up and back and down. Okay, that made my hair super messy. All right, and let's just pause here and take a deep breath. In through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And close your eyes if they were open. And notice how you feel inside your body. Notice how you feel in your emotional landscape. And then bring your attention to the speed of your thoughts. Hopefully they're a little bit slower than usual. If not, just come back to this and practice it. Okay, so then you can open your eyes, and now we're going to move into the hips, our center of creativity. And for this, you're going to place your feet wider than hip width apart. And if you're in the chair, you're just going to do your best with this. This one isn't that conducive to sitting, but you can see how you can make it happen. If you're standing, bend your knees a little bit and you start to roll the hips to the front, roll the whole pelvis to the front and then to the side, and place your hands on your waist, and then move your booty out to the back and then out to the side. So we're making a circle with the hips, and again, going so slow enough so that you can track the sensations of the movement with the mind. The mind wanders, just bring it back. And again, enjoy this luxury of being able to go so slowly. There is nothing to accomplish here. It is just about feeling good. And you can imagine the ball and socket joints of the hips moving very fluidly. Again, if this doesn't feel ideal in your body, figure out how you can make it work so that it feels as good as possible. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose, and keep your tongue pressed to the roof of your mouth, closing an energy loop. And then when you're ready, switching directions, unifying mind, body, and breath, being a seeker of what feels really good as you do this slow motion movement. Just by this simple practice, we are connecting with nature's pace. We're giving ourselves a frame of reference. So then if we get really out of alignment with this pace, we can easily come back to it with a simple practice of moving slowly, either doing this or any of the other things I described. All right, and then bring everything super slow motion back to center. Bring your feet more under your hips if you're standing, and close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose. And out through your mouth, imagine your breath dropping right down into the earth. And check in. How do you feel? I'm feeling relaxed. I'm feeling grounded and centered, and I am feeling the benefits of that presence. So that is our embodied energy flow practice for today. You can do one part of it. You could just do the head part. You could just do the heart part. You could just do the hip part. And I definitely recommend bringing that into your life this week to help yourself flow at the pace of nature. All right, so we're going to move into our next break from our sponsors. When we get back, I'm going to be answering a viewer question about what to do when you're exhausted, but you don't have time to slow down. So my name is Christina Marlette. This is the Courageous Self-Care Experience, and we'll be right back.
Dr. RC will share extraordinary resources and services that promote educational success, as well as making a difference in the lives of all social workers, as well as the lives of children, adolescents, and teens of today. She will have open discussions addressing many of the issues that we face about our youth and how being employed in the uniquely skilled profession of social work for over 18 years has taught invaluable lessons through her personal experiences. She will also provide real-life facts, examples, and personal stories that will confirm that why serving as a child advocate is extremely beneficial when addressing the needs of the whole child. Listen live to Dare to Soar, Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network, and tune in radio as Dr. RC will provide thought-provoking information that will empower, encourage, and strengthen students, families, and communities across our nation. You can also visit her at soarwithkatie.com. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. We discover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Hello, welcome back. This is the Courageous Self-Care Experience. I'm your host, Christina Marlette, and we are learning the self-care ninja skills to get life done while riding that wave of grace and feeling great about it the entire time, or at least as much of the time as possible. Okay, so we're moving into our Q&A section. I love to take questions. Often I will get questions from clients and viewers. And so here's what we're talking about today. It's on theme of what we've been doing already with slowing down. And the question that came up this week was, I feel exhausted, but I don't have time to slow down. What can I do? Well, it sounds a little bit like an oxymoron, like you have to slow down, or you have to slow down in order to not feel exhausted. I don't believe that to be true. So I'm going to offer you a couple of suggestions and solutions of what you can do if your life feels chaotic and there's just stuff that has to be done. This isn't about your trimming your to-do list. This is more of an energetic approach. So first of all, I do think it's really important to honor the signals that your body is giving you. And I have so many clients who are so tired, but they refuse to rest. And they say they don't have enough time, or they don't want to not sleep during the night. And so number one, that's a misperception. The more rested you are throughout the day, the better you'll sleep at night. Not if you're sleeping like 8 hours during the day. But I do think it's important to honor what your body is asking for. So my philosophy on making progress is something is better than nothing. And so if you have, I've done this over and over and over. If you have 5 minutes, then lay down for 5 minutes. And the ideal break that I take if I am starting to feel run down, or I am getting signals from my body that a break is needed, there does need to be a pause, then my go-to practice is a Shavasana. So Shavasana, you might have heard of it. It is a posture, an asana in yoga, and it involves pretty much no effort whatsoever, just the effort to get there, which is lying down on your back, and your arms are out to the sides, palms up, not close into your body, but so that there's room underneath, between your elbows and your ribs. And then your feet are spread out at a comfortable angle. You can put a rolled up towel underneath your knees, or if you have a bolster, you could do that. And you want to make yourself nice and comfortable in Shavasana. And here's what most people don't know about it. you don't have to do a whole yoga class to enjoy the benefits of Shavasana. Sometimes I just say, okay, my whole day so far has been the active part of the yoga class, whether I've been doing yoga or not. And now I'm going to go into a Shavasana. And so a 20-minute Shavasana is the equivalent to taking a whole sleep cycle, a whole 90-minute sleep cycle. It will not prevent you from sleeping at night. And the thing is, if you have a sleep deficit, you are not going to, like, you have to fill it. And a Shavasana is, it's like almost a cheater's way of doing it. So you can accomplish so much more in less time and get the same results. So what I do is, if I feel like I need this, I'll just really pay attention, tune into, oh, yep, I'm feeling like a Shavasana is necessary. And then I lay down, get into the posture, and then I set my timer for 20 minutes using my phone. And what I've noticed over years and years of doing this practice as needed is, I think it's fascinating. So it might feel like you fall asleep, and often in Shavasana, what's actually happening is more you're going into a trance type state. You're benefiting from the conscious mind shutting off, but obviously you're not getting into a deep sleep cycle, which is why it's not going to negatively affect your sleep at night. So 20 minutes. And then what I notice is often I'll come back into consciousness like 40 seconds or 30 seconds before the timer goes. And then ta-da, I'm wide awake and ready to go again. And after a Shavasana, what it's good to do is roll onto your side into a comfortable position for a few moments and rest there. Take a few deep breaths into the belly, which can be very energizing, and then make your way up to seated and then eventually standing. So if you have 20 minutes, great, do 20 minutes. That's like a whole sleep cycle. And there are times when I haven't had 20 minutes, like often I'll have clients scheduled one right after the other. And ideally there's a 15-minute break, but not always. And it might be that, oh, I have 6 minutes. Okay, I'm going to do 6 minutes because something is better than nothing, especially when you're honoring your energy and your body. If I have 4 minutes, I'll do 4 minutes. Sometimes I've done a 1 minute. So there's never an excuse that you don't have enough time. Of course you have a minute. Just, of course you do. And if you don't, then maybe we should talk. Maybe your life is too full of things that aren't necessarily serving you. Anyways, so a Shavasana is a great practice. 20 minutes if you have it. And if you don't, just use whatever time you do have. Get into that posture. Let everything go. Take a break. Sometimes I just say, I'm taking a break from being Christina. I'm just going to be awareness and consciousness and just breathe. So that is my first recommendation. That will definitely help with exhaustion because number one, you're getting some rest, you're taking a pause and slowing down. And number two, you're honoring what your body is trying to tell you. If you ignore what your body is trying to tell you, it's going to amplify it. Your body is on your side. It's trying to convey messages. And the way that it speaks to you is through energy and then also through pain. So if you ignore and you ignore and you ignore, some sort of pain is going to show up so that you have a higher chance of listening because the body wants you to heal. It wants you to grow and expand. And there's always a spiritual healing or a spiritual growth underlying any message your body's trying to give you. So that's number one. Tip number two is different from what I had ever learned up until I started working with my mentor, Dr. Sue Morter. Exhaustion is a heavy energy, right? So if you think about exhaustion and you imagine feeling exhausted, if you're not exhausted right now, you can just notice, oh, like your body just kind of collapses, exhausted, right? It's not upright. It's not radiating out energy. It's more of a contracted and heavy experience. So here's the thing to know about heavy energy. Again, your system, you're not just your body and you're not just your thoughts and you're not just your emotions. You are much bigger than all of that. We all are. We are big, brilliant, magnificent, powerful beings. And the more we're able to accept that, the better life gets. So this system that we have, which is connected with infinite intelligence and the divinity or God of your understanding, it knows so much more than our little brain. And it it's way beyond intellect. It's infinite intelligence. And we're connected with that. So we have access to this infinite intelligence. And when we have heavy energy, it is our brilliant system saying, pay attention to getting more grounded. Now, how do you get more grounded? Often people will just say, I need to get grounded. And then they don't have a specific practice around that. So it's not super helpful. So we have, and I've talked about this before, it's worth saying again because this is like a hidden secret that's been lost for a really long time. We have an energy center in the earth 2 feet below us. In the system that I've learned through the yoga and the energy codes, which is a book by Dr. Sue Morter, we have this energy center that's 2 feet below us. In ancient Egypt, it was called the Earth Star. So they knew about it, and it was highly accepted at that time. And then over the last few thousand years, it kind of disappeared out of most people's awareness. But it is a key. It is a solution to so many things in life. Whenever our energy is heavy, it's saying, hey there, what you need is down in that 10th chakra. It's down in that Earth Star. It's down in the earth 2 feet below you. Everything you need is down there. So the energy of this center, it has your destiny. Like all the answers you would ever need, not intellectual answers, but energetic answers, they are there. And it's also known as the Christ consciousness. It's known as the Buddha consciousness, which translates into the awareness that you are a divine being and brilliant and magnificent, and that power doesn't come from outside of you. You are that power. You are the divine taking a human body. So that is all in that 10th chakra. Plus, it is the most activated and actualized version of any part of you. So it is the most energetic version of you. That's where it resides. It's the most successful version of you. It's the most peaceful version of you. It's the most calm version of you. It's the most prosperous version of you. It's the most healed version of you. It's all of these things. They are down in that 10th chakra. So when you feel heavy energy, your system is saying, hello, what you need is down there. So yeah, we do need to get grounded. And a great practice for connecting with that 10th chakra is to imagine it as a pool of golden light that is 2 feet below you in the earth. And all throughout the day, whenever it occurs to me, I just feel my feet on the earth. I'm doing it right now. And then I imagine that pool of golden light. Some people can even see it in their imagination. And I just tune into what it feels like in that 10th chakra. And then we can also breathe up from it, like I shared 2 episodes ago with the central channel breathing. That is a powerful practice to gather from that 10th chakra and move the energy into your body so it becomes embodied. And the more you make room in your physicality at a quantum level, you're creating space in your body for what you want more of. So if you want more success in your life, it's in the 10th chakra, and you need to breathe it up and intend that it takes up residence in your body, because then you radiate it out. And then that is the energy that comes back to you. If you want more inner peace, same thing. Breathe up from that pool of golden light. Imagine that light taking up space in your body. And a consistent practice like this will help you embody. And this is what any heavy energy is actually trying to tell you. So it's never like exhaustion. It's not a problem. It's not something to be fixed. It's your system saying, hello. It's like tapping you on the shoulder energetically, making it super obvious. What you need next is in the 10th chakra. Go there. That is what is, that's where the answers are. That's where what you want is. It's not coming from out there. It's part of you, and it's in the earth. And we have 12 chakras altogether. The 10th chakra is a really high vibration. And it's weird that it's, below us in the earth. We don't tend to think of the earth as being that high of a vibration, but that's how our whole system works. So exhaustion is not a problem. It's an opportunity to say, okay, I notice that there's heavy energy. My system is saying 10th chakra, I'm going to spend some time hanging out there, and you just be curious, like, what does it feel like down there? And initially, if you're anything like me, I was like, I don't feel anything. I have no idea what this 10th chakra is all about. But over time, you'll start to notice that it does have feelings and sensations. And lately it's just been feeling so good for me to spend time there. So exhaustion, guilt, shame, depression, the mind makes up all sorts of stories and makes them into a problem. And then we think we need to fix it. Not a problem. Just your big red arrows pointing down saying spend more time in the 10th chakra so that you can become more of who you are destined to be. Okay, so that's probably not what you were expecting to hear about exhaustion, but it is the most practical and powerful approach that I've ever experienced. All right, so we're coming up on our next sponsor break. After we're coming back with a new segment, self-care, stuff I love. So I'm going to share with you some practical tools that have made my life better, and then we'll go into our aligned actions for this week. All right, so this is the Courageous Self-Care Experience. I'm your host, Christina Marlette. We're streaming on Bold Brave TV, and we'll be right back after this word from our sponsors.
Mike Zorek, a three-time California state champion in Greco-Roman wrestling at 114 pounds. Mike, blind since birth, was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was a six-time national placer, including 2 seconds, 2/3, and 2/4. He also won the Veterans Folk-Style Wrestling twice at 152 pounds. In all these tournaments, he was the only blind competitor. Nancy Zorek, a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions in several states. Her father, a commercial artist who shared his instruments with his daughter and helped her fine-tune her natural abilities, influenced her decision to follow in his footsteps. Ms. Zorek has enjoyed a fruitful career doing what she loves. Listen Saturday mornings at 12 Eastern for the Nancy and Mike Show for heartwarming stories and interesting talk on the BBM Global Network.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome back. This is the Courageous Self-Care Experience. I'm your host, Christina Marlette. We are learning the self-care ninja skills to get life done. All right, so this is our last portion here, and thought I would share with you some things that I love, some self-care stuff. And, pretty much everything in life can be about self-care if you open up your lens and view it that way. And I was chatting with a client this week who was talking about how chaos in the home is very stressful. And I have to agree. I love clearing out. I love decluttering. I love things being organized. The part of the store that gets me so excited if I'm at, one of those big box stores is the section that has containers. I love containers. They are so exciting. And I was getting a facial for a Mother's Day gift the other day. I was reading a magazine, real simple, and I saw that there was a section on getting organized. So that's where I flipped, and there was a great idea that I want to share with you. So I don't know about you, but we had wicker baskets where we had some cords in, and although I've been trying to keep them organized, they still ended up just being a big nest of cords. So in the magazine, I have it here to show you, they were suggesting tackle boxes. I was telling someone about this yesterday, and they said taco boxes. No, not to organize your tacos. A tackle box, like for fishing. So if you're watching, you can, there's my ring light on there, but you can see that the cords are so beautifully organized. So I got these on Amazon and I got 4 of them. And then miraculously, they all just fit into the wicker basket where we were storing our cords. So I'm thrilled. I'm very, very happy about this organization tool. And that's the thing. When you look at something that's disorganized, it can activate a stress response. It can make you feel anxious. And we don't want things around our house, like objects, to make us feel anxious. We want it to be calm and peaceful and as organized as possible. And so that's one solution. There are many options on Amazon. I just liked this one because it had 4, and amazingly, all of our cords fit into these 4. So that's one thing that I love that I would consider to be a self-care tool. And then another thing that's kind of along the same lines is it's a supplement briefcase. So I take a lot of supplements, and I'm a preventative kind of person. And I don't know if these are all going to fall out when I show you, but instead of having all those big bottles around, it has organizers to put your supplements into. Isn't that a thing of beauty? I love my supplement briefcase. And then, like in the summer, for going away for a longer period of time, if I have room, I just take the supplement briefcase. I am so thrilled with it. So this one was by a company on Etsy, ETSY, Etsy.com. And then this company was called Zeal, Zeal, or if you're in the United States, Zeal. And I don't know if they're still on Etsy, but you could look up supplement briefcase or supplement storage container and get yourself something, because it just makes me happy every time I use it and I open it up every day, pull out my supplements, and brings me joy, helps me stay on that wave of grace. So those are some self-care things that I love, and I highly recommend clearing out, decluttering, and getting as organized as possible. The rest of my family is not as keen on the containers as I am, but I keep bringing them into the house nonetheless because, well, at least we know where things are supposed to go, even if they don't end up there. All right, so that's that. And now we'll move into our last portion here, the aligned action segment. So our wrap up here and the aligned actions you can take based on what we've covered today. So number 1, move slowly. Bring that as a practice into your day. It could take 1 minute or less. So of course you have time. Something is better than nothing. Even if you're just walking from one spot to the next, go ultra slow motion and breathe and bring your mind onto the sensation, and you'll help your cells become enlivened and connected with that energy and pace of nature. So move slowly to connect with nature's pace. The second thing is to honor exhaustion. And we talked about 2 strategies for that. So the first one is a shavasana. No matter how much or little time you have for it, if your body is asking for a break, give it a break. It's so much better than taking a break on your phone. It's better than taking a break and, I don't know, any other activity that's not actually self-care. So give yourself a full break with all your awareness. 20 minutes if you have it. If you have less, take a short break, be in shavasana, and just breathe. And then the other practice is to, if you notice exhaustion, to identify it as just a heavy energy. It's not a problem. And whenever a heavy energy shows up, even when my mind starts to go, oh, well, this is happening for that reason, and this always happens, and that's going into the story. That's not the truth. Your system is wise. It's just saying, big arrows pointing down. Spend some time with the 10th chakra. And this doesn't have to take any time at all. You can do it while you're doing other things. That's how amazing we are. We are multidimensional, and we can pay attention to different things at the same time. So right now, even as I'm talking to you, I'm also tuning into that golden pool of light 2 feet below and just paying attention. And that's all you need to do. The rest will take care of itself. So if you go for a walk, you can take that 10th chakra along with you. Imagine that it's coming along with you, or if you're just sitting there or you're doing any kind of activity, just bring it into, it drives along with you. So 10th chakra, so helpful. Everything you want is there. And that's what your exhaustion is trying to tell you. Just pay attention to the 10th chakra. Second last thing, ask yourself that question, what would I love? And make your decisions based on that, and miracles will unfold. And then the very last actual thing is I have a tool on my website for you. It's called the Daily Self-Care Checklist. It's unusual self-care strategies that are fun to implement. They don't take a whole lot of extra time, and they really give you a new perspective on what self-care is so that it makes a real difference and it's not just a whole other list of things to do. All right, so that's at ChristinaMarlette.com. I have really loved spending this time with you. Thank you for being here, whether it's live or listening to the recording. I am just so passionate about connecting with you and offering solutions that actually work so that you live from the overflow. You have plenty of energy. It spills out into other parts of your life. And as a result, every part of life gets better and better. So thank you for being here. This has been the Courageous Self-Care Experience. I'm Christina Marlette. I'm looking forward to spending some time with you again next time. And I wish you an amazing week. All right, take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.
This has been the Courageous Self-Care Experience with host Christina Marlette. Tune in each week as Christina will offer up live laser coaching where her compassionate reframes help you see the bigger picture, shift your perspective, and return to inner peace, no matter what's going on. You'll leave with a weekly aligned action to get your energy flowing and your life glowing. Thursdays, 12 noon Eastern on the Bold Brave TV network, powered by B2 Studios.